A shot that changed the world, a medical revolution and the nation's reaction. Created by Una Onai Jumbe, Maya Levy, and Aya Mana.
Throughout the early 20th century, the poliovirus plagued communities worldwide, instilling a sense of fear through its unpredictable outbreaks and devastating effects. For decades, polio caused widespread and devastating paralysis, respiratory failure, and tragically, death, particularly among children. However, in 1955, the groundbreaking development of effective vaccines by scientists Jonas Salk and Albert Sabin transformed this dire public health crisis into a remarkable medical triumph. The creation and rapid distribution of the polio vaccine launched a truly groundbreaking medical revolution, provoking powerful and emotional public reactions and permanently altering the course of global health for generations to come.
Polio emerged as a major public health threat in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, spreading rapidly throughout Europe and the United States, and overwhelming medical systems that were ill-prepared to confront it. Polio attacks the nervous system, severely weakening muscles and often resulting in permanent paralysis. In its most severe form, the virus interferes with respiratory function, forcing patients to rely on iron lungs, large mechanical ventilators that sustain breathing, sometimes for an entire lifetime. The virus spreads easily through close human contact, including coughing, sneezing, or physical interaction. This ease of transmission generated widespread panic. Parents restricted their children from public spaces, playgrounds, and swimming pools. Schools were frequently closed during outbreaks to limit exposure. Compounding this panic, early symptoms of polio were mild and easily overlooked. Fever, sore throat, fatigue, and nausea often masked the disease's severity until paralysis suddenly developed. As a result, polio became one of the most feared diseases of the 20th century.
As polio continued to devastate communities, scientists intensified efforts to understand the virus and develop a method of prevention. Beginning in 1908, researchers focused on identifying how poliovirus infected the body and damaged the nervous system. Early research revealed that preventing infection before paralysis occurred was crucial. This discovery led scientists to view vaccination as the most effective defense. Jonas Salk, who began his research in the 1930s, pursued the development of a vaccine using an inactivated or killed virus. His approach aimed to stimulate immunity without risking disease. In contrast, Albert Sabin began his research in the late 1940s and developed a live, weakened virus vaccine taken orally. Although their methods differed, both scientists made significant contributions that advanced medical understanding and brought the world closer to ending polio.
In the early 1950s, Jonas Salk achieved a historic breakthrough by developing the first successful polio vaccine using an inactivated virus. To ensure its safety and effectiveness, extensive clinical trials were conducted under the supervision of Dr. Thomas Francis Jr. and funded by the March of Dimes. In the late 1930s, Franklin D. Roosevelt discovered he had polio and that he would never walk again. His lawyer, Basil O'Connor, started the March of Dimes, which contributed over $13 million, or, accounting for inflation, approximately $230 million today. President Roosevelt's diagnosis only accelerated the search for a vaccine, especially for Jonas Salk. There's a letter from him to Eleanor Roosevelt that goes like this. Since you were the person closest to the man to whom society owes so great a debt, I wanted you to know that my thoughts in the past few years have been with you and your late husband, more often than I can count. The scientific report that may mark the beginning of the end of the scourge of polio is to be made on the 10th anniversary of Mr. Roosevelt's untimely death. Salk developed his vaccine at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine, while Albert Sabin later refined his oral vaccine at the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine. These two approaches demonstrated that scientific innovation could take multiple paths to the same goal. In 1954, nearly 2 million children across 44 states participated in large-scale vaccine trials. These trials were meticulously monitored and played a critical role in building public trust. By 1955, the results of the trials were confirmed, the vaccine's success. Salk's inactivated polio vaccine was declared safe and effective, followed later by Sabin's oral polio vaccine in the 1960s, which expanded vaccination possibilities worldwide.
Following government approval in 1955, the polio vaccine was rapidly distributed by Dr. Thomas Francis Jr. across the United States. On the day of its release, Dr. Thomas publicly announced that the vaccine was safe, effective, and potent, marking a moment of national relief. Early vaccination trials were conducted at institutions such as the D.T. Watson Home for Crippled Children and the Polk State School, setting the stage for widespread public vaccination. Public health campaigns employed persuasive advertising that appealed to people's emotions and responsibility. Posters and broadcasts contrasted healthy children with those confined to irony lungs, reinforcing the urgency of vaccination. Celebrity endorsements, including Elvis Presley's televised vaccination, further increased public confidence. Vaccination was framed as both a personal choice and a patriotic duty, uniting Americans in the fight against polio. After the vaccine came out, the nation felt great relief. A woman named Ruth Gottlieb wrote a letter to Jonas Salk, sending her gratitude. "I wish I could in some way describe the feeling I had as I learned that your vaccine had beaten polio. I could only feel that your genius had given me an assurance that those close to me would be free from one of man's most cruel enemies."
The long-term impact of the polio vaccine was extraordinary. Global polio cases declined by over 90% and more than 20 million children were saved from paralysis. In the United States and many other nations, polio rapidly transitioned from a widespread threat to a preventable disease. This success reshaped public confidence in medicine and government-led health initiatives. Sabin's oral polio vaccine revolutionized global vaccination efforts by simplifying distribution and lowering costs, particularly in countries with limited healthcare infrastructure. International organizations, including the World Health Organization, built upon these achievements to pursue global eradication, establishing a model for future vaccination campaigns against other diseases.
The development of the polio vaccine marked a defining moment in medical history. Scientific innovation, combined with public trust and international cooperation, transformed a devastating epidemic into a near-eradicated disease. To this day, the World Health Organization is still administering the polio vaccines to other countries, trying to eradicate the disease. The success of the polio vaccine not only saved millions of lives, but also redefined how societies confront public health crises. It stands as enduring proof that collective action and scientific progress can alter the course of history.